Happy Thirsty Thursday, everyone. It's Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm back with weather for Weather Geeks on this day before Friday. And it's a calmer day today. It's a colder day today, of course, but at least we are done with the headaches that we had over the last couple of days. Of course, yesterday's snow in most of the valley really didn't turn out to be much of a big deal. Dry air got involved in that storm and ate up most of the snow. You can pick out on the satellite picture today, since it's a nice clear day, you can see the snow cover and you can see what exactly happened here. We had a dry punch of air yesterday that came right up through here, putting a stop to the accumulating snow right about here. You can see just south of Mansfield and maybe around the Akron and Canton areas. Points west of there, yeah, a lot of snow. East of Cleveland up towards I-90, yeah, quite a bit of snow there as well. But once you were down closer to the I-80 corridor, that dry air was just too much to overcome for us to get much in the way of accumulation. All right, so let's focus on the present. It's a fairly sunny day, but boy is it cold outside. 18 degrees here in Youngstown during the 2 o'clock hour. By the way, our coldest March 13th on record as far as a high temperature is 19 degrees, so if we don't get above that, this would be a new record, or at least tie the record for the coldest high temperature on record for this date. We did have a record low temperature this morning. The old record was 5. We dropped down to 4 at around 8 o'clock this morning. Also, you can see with the strong northerly winds, the ice has been pushed down into the southern two-thirds of Lake Erie, the lake more open up in the northern part, with that strong northerly fetch over the last 24 hours or so. As expected, they had the jackpot of snow up here in New York and into New England, but the radar today is nice and quiet. We got some lake effect going on off of Lake Michigan here, but other than that, not much is going on today nationwide. Also fairly quiet. You can tell just how cold this air mass is. You can pick out what we call cloud streets off the East Coast, where the really cold air starts interacting with the warm Atlantic Ocean. It gets warmer and warmer away from the coast, and that causes these types of patterns in the clouds. Andre Bernier up at Fox 8 in Cleveland likes to call this the East Coast Ghost. Kind of looks like a ghostly figure. It's a signature of really, really cold air over the western Atlantic Ocean. So that's what's going on now. What's going to happen as we go into the future? Let's switch sources briefly here, and I want to show you our computer models for just a second. Tomorrow's an uneventful day. It's going to be much, much warmer tomorrow with a southwesterly wind developing. What we've got going on tomorrow is a warm front up here, and southwest winds, a rapid March warm-up tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of backyards flirted with 55 degrees tomorrow afternoon after starting out at 4 this morning and just being around 63 a couple of days ago. So it's been a wild ride this week as promised, and that's classic March. So that's our warm front heading off to the north. There will be a trailing cold front then late Friday night into Saturday morning. Here's the wee hours of Saturday morning. Low pressure up over Quebec. Cold front back here, and you see some precipitation printed out here. This could be a rain or a snow shower in a few spots Friday night, heading into the very early morning hours on Saturday. That's going to get out of our way. Maybe there's a sprinkle midday and afternoon on Saturday, especially north of I-80. We'll see some sun, I think, from time to time on Saturday, but overall the weekend pretty uneventful. It will be colder. And then we got to keep an eye on Sunday's system. Let's talk a little bit more about that system coming up on Sunday. I'm going to bring up the GFS model at about 18,000 feet up in the atmosphere. And this is a spot in the atmosphere where we look for spin, or vorticity we call it. It's a fancy term, a meteorological term for spin. Spinning air molecules up at that level aid in rising air and cloud and precipitation formation. This is the pattern tomorrow up at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet. Here's our weekend system getting set to cruise through the Great Lakes. And then here's the beginnings of that system that may just brush us by to the south late Sunday night into Monday. It'll be out in the southwest tomorrow. Let's put this in motion. Let's skip forward to Saturday afternoon. Let's see here. I'm sorry. Saturday. Saturday's the 15th, right? Yes. Losing track of my days here. Saturday, we have our disturbance moving through the lakes with its cold front. And then here's the piece of energy we have to keep an eye on as it comes this way. It depends on how this decides to track as to how high our precipitation chances will be. By Sunday afternoon, let me zoom in a little bit here. By Sunday afternoon, this piece of energy is cruising just south of the Ohio River and tracking like this. If this were to take a jog a little more like this, we would have to start to be a little more concerned about precipitation chances here in the Mahoning Valley late Sunday, Sunday night into Monday morning. Now notice this system is kind of getting pulled apart a little bit. You'll notice that the brighter colors kind of go away here by late Sunday into Sunday night. So this will be kind of a weakening system, I suspect, but one we have to keep an eye on because there is that chance that we might have to deal with it at some point, especially south of Route 30. Here's Sunday evening. GFS has precipitation getting awfully close late in the day. NAM model keeps it well to the south. Here's the Canadian, looks a little more like the GFS. Now the new European model isn't in yet. I'll be curious to see what that shows. Right now we've got a nominal, maybe 30% chance of seeing some snow here late Sunday, Sunday night, maybe into Monday morning. Certainly your chances at this point look like they will increase as you head down towards I-70 and especially down towards the Ohio River. So that's something we're going to keep an eye on. This is going to be more of a problem, I suspect, for the mountains of West Virginia, mountains of Maryland, and this could bring accumulating snow or at least a mix to D.C., Baltimore, and Philadelphia Sunday night into Monday. But odds right now still favor it being too far to the south for much snow, if any snow here. High pressure up to the north will try to keep the dry air pumping south, keeping us out of the snow zone. So that bears watching. All right, longer range real quickly. This is a classic March look I'm going to take you through here, back and forth between warm and cold. The cold colors are your blues and greens and purples. The warm colors are your oranges and reds and browns. This is the temperature anomaly map for today right here with our cold pool moving off the East Coast. It is warming up with that warm front out in the middle of the country. So as we go forward to Friday, notice what happens. That warm pool moves overhead. We get into the 50s tomorrow. A little bit of a mirage, though, because here comes that next shot of cold air dumbbelling down out of the prairies of Canada. And so, yeah, around the Great Lakes and Northeast, looks like a pretty chilly weekend, a progressively cold weekend. Sunday will be colder than Saturday. As we head towards Monday, St. Patty's Day, most of the east is cold, the west and the plains starting to warm up, and that bubble of warmth will probably head our way for the middle and latter portions of next week. Odds favor Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week being quite a bit warmer than the start of the week. But then here comes another pool of cold air for maybe Friday heading into next weekend, followed by another warm-up. It looks to me like this is a pattern for the next week to 10 days that is really back and forth. And that's a pretty, classic March pattern. This is a transitional season. Spring is trying to make its way into the pattern, but winter just isn't ready to give up just yet. So we'll see these back and forth type of things where we go from the 30s one day to the 50s the next and right back to the 30s. That sort of thing will probably be pretty common for the rest of the month. Hopefully we get more consistent warmth in April. That's what typically happens. We typically get some cold days in April. It can even snow at times in April, but of course April tends to be more consistently warm than March, which is a real wild month. And we're seeing that play out this week. 63 a couple of days ago, teens today, 50s tomorrow. So that's weather for Weather Geeks on this Thursday. I'll see you right back here tomorrow afternoon. As always, on the TV side, you'll see my forecast tonight, 21 News at 6 and 11.